Let's talk February reading wrap up. I read Deep End. I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. The emotional development and therapy representation in this book, great. Whiskey Business. I rated it 4 stars. I love a Scottish male main character who's broody and has been in love with her for years. That's what you get with this one. And I'm currently reading Scotch on the Rocks, which is the second in this trilogy, and oh my gosh, it's hot. Cold Position, because I'm in my F1 era, 4 stars. Gay representation. The sport is actually on the page. You get the behind the scenes look at F1. Great. Work in Progress. Again, I love a Scottish man. Travel through the UK and Scotland, seeing places represented in books. I laughed out loud. The female friendships in this book is what made it. The romance was like, okay. Scythe and Sparrow. Who doesn't love reading about serial deleters? Who doesn't love reading about serial deleters who fall in love? He's my favorite of the Kane brothers. Olympus, because I am addicted to this graphic novel series, and if you have recommendations for graphic novels, I might read more. But not in the month of March, because I have a lot of arcs that I'm reading in the month of March, which you're going to see in another video. I read The Secret War of Julia Child. I give it 3 stars. I know very little about the Pacific theater of World War II. Like, I know more now because of this book. Overall, it was okay. I thought it dragged on. Who doesn't love reading a book about books and librarians? Miss Morgan's Book Brigade is a book about librarians who went to World War I front in France and helped establish libraries and advocate for the access to knowledge. I give it 5 stars because it made me emotional, and books that make me emotional automatically get 5 stars. My Lady Jane. I thought this was such a fun young adult fantasy historical fiction. It's historical fiction in that it uses the names and places associated with King Henry VIII's children. It's fantasy. It was so funny. I loved the sense of humor. Watch the show if you haven't already. I gave Temple of Swoon 3 stars. It was okay. I think that there was way too much musing on the size of her itty bitties, and for an adventure story, it was kind of lacking. Elizabeth of East Hampton and Emma of 83rd Street are modern day adaptations or retellings of Pride and Prejudice and Emma by Jane Austen, and I loved them. They were fantastic. I highly recommend them. I gave them 4 stars. I really loved Elizabeth of East Hampton for the additional depth it provided to the other sisters, Mary, Lydia, and Kitty. I can't wait for book 3 to come out in October. I have very high hopes. By the way, Teddy Hamilton is the audiobook narrator, if that makes a difference for you. Fated Throne, Zodiac Academy 6. I am halfway through Zodiac Academy 7. I'm invested at this point, but man, some books could use some editing, in my opinion. They don't need to be that long, okay? And some of the trauma, but I'm here for it, I guess. I'm gonna keep going. So if you lost count, I read 19 books in the month of February. My physical TBR is at 266.